Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has concluded his European tour. Now, the Ukrainian leader visited London, Paris, Berlin, and Rome to garner further military and financial assistance for his country. He also met with Pope Francis at a private audience held in the Vatican. Now, joining me now to discuss the latest developments in Ukraine and more is Kira Rudik, Ukrainian MP, Voice Party leader. Ms. Kira, thank you so much for being with us here on World News Tonight on TVP World.
Hello, Diana, and thank you so much for having me.
Let's begin first with President Zelensky's European diplomatic tour. Now, it has now concluded. What can you say that Zelenskyy has achieved overall from this trip?
Well, Diana, I have a hope that the achievement that we expect the most, the agreement to use Western weapons to hit into the military targets in Russian territory, that this will not be announced, that we will see that decision on the battlefield. And we desperately need it because the winter is coming and the majority of our energy system has been destroyed. Second point is President is gathering the support of Ukraine in terms of developing our military complex and, of course, getting the humanitarian support. All the items that the Western leaders have been asked, they are not new. This is something that we have been asking for over and over and over. And what we basically need right now in terms of the weapon supplies, we need all the promises that have been made to finally become weapons in the hands of Ukrainian soldiers. And though I think it was on President's agenda, it's still very hard to get through the bureaucratic and logistical issues to get all that we need in time. And for us in Ukraine, for every single day of the delay, we pay with the lives of our people. And this is an incredibly painful matter.
Ms. Rudik, you're mentioning a lot of really important and, of course, interesting points there. But now let me ask you this. I mean, President Zelenskyy has mentioned for months, asking permission to use the U.S.-manufactured long-range weapons against targets in Russia. But Michael Carpenter, who had an interview here on TVP World, he's a senior U.S. diplomat, he said that what Ukraine really needs right now is to actually mobilize additional men to go on the front lines, that it needs new training, it needs new brigades, and badly needs those air defense systems. Now, how would you say, how available are these men in Ukraine, and are defense systems being supplied quickly enough?
So I will start with the respect to Mr. Carpenter and all the things that have been done to get us what is necessary for us. However, during the war, I can tell you, there is not a thing that is a Wunderwaffe or something that will definitely change the course of the war. We need everything. Do we need more people? Yes, of course. Do we need them to go through the training faster? Absolutely. Do we need more defense systems? Yes. Do we need more fighter jets and Patriot missile systems? Yes. It's not that there is something that is less important. All the items are supporting each other. And I think you would agree that our military commandment was brilliant throughout those 2.5 years, being able to achieve that we are alive and fighting with the limited resources that we had. So, of course, there are things that needs to be done faster and better. And from our side as well, we understand this. But the question is, if we gather more men into the new brigades and train them, would they have weapons to fight with? Would those weapons arrive in time? And who can promise 100% that our people would not be fighting enemy empty-handed? So it's a very complicated matter. And what we need to achieve right now is to make sure that all the pieces of this puzzle are working together and being delivered in time.
Ms. Rudik, what do we know about the Ramstein Summit that has been postponed? Any more details coming out of that?
Well, we hope that the new dates will be established ASAP. This Ramstein Summit is very important because it includes world leaders, so not only the representatives of the ministries of defense, but actually leaders who can make political decisions. As you know, in weapons supplies, it's not only a political will that is necessary, and it's not only the military agreement that are necessary. We usually need both. An ability to have political and military leaders in one room, deliver the messages, show them the peace plan of President Zelenskyy and peace formula, and then move ahead with the decisions is very critical for us. Unfortunately, the summit was postponed, but we really hope that it will be resumed and we will be able to deliver a message. We have proven that Russia is not invincible. We are able to fight them back. They are only good in terrorizing us, but they are not good even in defending their own territory. So we can win this war. We just need an ability and means to do that. And we will show you. We already showed you with the facts that we can do it. Right now, let us do our job and finish it.
Ms. Rudik, you just said we can win this war. I mean, the international community does support Ukraine. However, let's go. I mean, this Ramstein Summit was supposed to happen as one of the possible final meetings between the U.S. President Joe Biden and Zelenskyy. But now what happens if Donald Trump wins these elections? I mean, he said that he would be able to win this war, to stop this war in 24 hours.
Well, I think the bigger issue is that there are people who are offering simple solutions to the complicated problems. And I think what we will see in future that there is a big difference between being a candidate to the president of the United States and then being a leader of the free world and being able to defend the values and the democracies that are standing for those values. And I think it's very dangerous to be promising to shake hands to Putin and to figure something out with him. And again, it's not just me telling you this. Look at the facts. We had those hopes in 2014 when we had this freezing of the conflict, and look where it get us. Georgia had the similar way, and it led them nowhere, because one thing that is not resolved by this moment is that there is not a person or an organization in the whole world that can make sure that Putin will...
And just very briefly, sir, because we're almost out of time, are there any, just really briefly, details that you can give us about President Zelenskyy's peace plan, victory plan? Just very briefly, because we're almost out of time.
The peace plan is not something new. It includes getting us the weapons that are necessary for us and getting us the ability to hit Russian targets inside their territory. They are critical. These pieces are absolutely necessary to move forward. But President has not announced the major details of the plans yet. We only know of what we have been able to receive from our partners.
Thank you so much, Kira Rudik, Ukrainian MP, Voice Party leader, for being with us here on World News Tonight on TVP World. Thank you so much. And that's all for this edition of World News Tonight here on TVP World. I'm Diana Skaya. Thanks for watching.